Hi, this is Wei Ling. I'm actually on the UberGrapher car right now. I think it's kind of lucky. I actually cancelled the previous ride and managed to hold on to his ride and actually get to find out more about this interesting booklet over here.
What kind of startups you meet, or what kind of people you meet in your line of work?
Okay, so previously, I have been in a co-working scene for about 4 years to be exact. So previously I was working for the Co. They have 2 locations right now in Singapore, one at 75 High Street and one at 99 Duxton. So now I actually joined TNB Venture. It is a VC company. So it's a Singaporean base. It's a multi-platform where there's more access. I mean, we are doing more of like up to Series A funding, seeding to Series A funding companies. So for now, we have just recently moved from Amoy Street to, not exactly recently, but more like just moved to Block 71 for about a year.
What kind of startups you work with?
Previously, under the Co itself, we don't really have a lot of new startup. So we have a lot more on like mature tech companies.
But why do they use a co-working space if they are mature?
Okay, one of the reasons for having for mature company coming to the co-working space is mainly because they don't have to cover so much of the capex, and then on a month-to-month basis, they know that everything has been settled. So they don't really have to like hire an additional headcount to run the office staff. So they don't have to cover most of the things like fire safety, office furniture, then the day-to-day office stationeries, water, everything is all being taken care of from the co-working space.
I see. So you have met. I mean, I would imagine that most of the startups are young people, right?
Most of the startups, yes, especially for now at Block 71, I've seen like a lot of young people around. So just over the weekend itself, we actually held an angel hack competition at Block 71 at NUS Enterprise. So there were, without much marketing in Singapore itself, there's about 150 attendees already.
So any interesting idea that you come across?
Okay, there's one whereby it's called like I can't remember the exact name for the system, but it's more like, because currently for a lot of new startup, like for bakery, they actually have a few different channels to place their orders. So they can go through WhatsApp, they can go through Telegram, they can go through like WeChat and stuff. So for being a startup and the baker himself, like he has to like go through different channels to take orders.
What do you mean bakery?
As in, I think the company itself, he actually worked. I think he has come across this bakery shop where the bakers actually handle the orders by different channels, different platforms like WeChat, WhatsApp, Telegram, and stuff. So due to using a different platform, there's kind of confusion and get an order mixed up. So at this system, one of the angel hack, one of the participant angel hack, they actually come out with this system where it helps to push all these different channels into one platform. Then it will be automatically saved into like maybe in an Excel sheet, so that you will be sure that you won't miss any of these orders. Which I think is kind of like interesting. Although it may be simple, you see, like all this existing chat and platform has been around for a while. It's just that he has this idea of like consolidating all this like different orders into one page where they can the entrepreneur have direct access to it, and then in fact you can actually come back and check like like from where, and then like it's easier to take reference in terms of like the kind of order they have, because once you consolidate into one page, it allows you to have like easy reference, and then also to have see what's the trend like. It's easier to study and compare in that sense. The
difference of co-working versus service office.
Okay, so for service office is a bit more like traditional. So mainly it's really like a landlord and tenant kind of like agreement where I just rent a space. I need a professional space, like with good branding, images, outlook, and then like it's really more like a traditional service office where you just need a space to yourself. and then with like the basic amenities like pantry, supplies and everything that's inclusive. But whereas for co-working, it actually helps the startup, it actually helps most companies in the sense like they will run programs and events for the company that's there, and then most of the time they will bring in like funky things like happy breakfast or a drinking session with the tenants there to have certain bonding. So which is why for the co-working there's a lot more community and interaction. It's more human, I would say. There's like more family kind of feeling, whereas for service office, it's purely just a place for you to work.
I see.
You'll just go there for work, and then at the end of the day, you just go back. So there isn't much of like interactions between the tenants as well as like the operator.